Jeff Snader here with Sandler. Today, I want to talk about three things you're doing as a salesperson while prospecting that make you completely annoying and highly predictable and gets you into something we call the buyer-seller dance, right? Meaning that you're just doing what every other salesperson's doing, and the buyer you're talking to is doing what every buyer does, what every prospect does, to just get you off the phone or blow you off or pretend as though they're interested or just hear you out because you won't stop talking. So let's talk about some three things. First thing is the cliches. These are the how are you today, calling up and being overly excited. Hey, John, this is Jeff with Sandler. How are you today? That is, while you sound good and your personality, and people will respond and they'll tell you how they're doing, it gets you back into this mode, right? The robot trance of like, okay, you're asking me how I do today, and I'll answer, and we'll do a little cliche conversation, and I'm preparing myself for the fact that you're going to do what every other single salesperson does, which is then try and transition from this into finding more about me or selling something. So stop it with the how are you today. It just comes off wrong. Get to the point quicker, which we'll talk about. But the second part to it is, for number two, is hiding the fact that you're a salesperson. When you call someone up and you want to talk to them about your product or service, being sneaky, trying to hide the fact, saying things. Some people do say, I want you to know this isn't a sales call. And some people are a fan of that, but I'm not. I feel as though it's disingenuous. If you're going to sell something, and even if this call that you're on right now isn't supposed to be a sales call, it's just consultative, that's fine. But again, it comes off disingenuous. So I would suggest don't ever do that. Be upfront about it. Be upfront about the fact that you're calling them for a purpose and get to that purpose. And it also respects their time. It's not about you, right? It's not about me on the sales call. It's about my prospect. What can I help them with? If I have a good product or service that can help them with their issue, then I want to get that to them. I want to break away all the barriers to give that to them. Number three is not having a good 30-second commercial. That means not being able to succinctly tell people what you do and why they would want to do business with you. So combine all of these together, and if you're meeting someone for the first time or calling, you could say something like, hey Joe, this is Jeff with Sandler. We provide sales training and management training and customer service training. I don't even know if it makes sense for us to be talking, but why don't I tell you what we do and take 30 seconds to tell you what we do, and you can tell me if it makes sense for us to keep talking or not. So what I've done is quickly tell them where I'm from and what I do without giving, hey, we're 20 years in business and I've been doing this for so long and I'm the coolest guy in the whole world and you should want to talk to me. Not touting or tooting my own horn. Is it tooting, touting, whatever it is? My own horn. I'm not doing it. Blowing my own horn. I am just trying to pass across the information about what I do. And then I'm giving the option to say yes or no to listening to what I have to say. Maybe they're really busy at the moment. Maybe they just don't want to talk to me. I'd rather them tell me and we have some good bonding and rapport moments than just have a battle on the phone. And so after, if they say yes, take the 30 seconds. I'll say something like, Joe, people typically reach out to me for one of three reasons. Number one, they're missing their sales targets consistently. They're struggling to do it. So sales goals are not being reached. Two, the pipeline. It's filled with think-it-overs. People who won't commit to a yes or no, and we can't really move them out of the pipeline. And maybe we're playing phone tag with them too, just trying to get an answer. And three is the constant discounting. Sometimes our salespeople even lead in with discounts, so we're not able to get premium pricing. Any of those three resonate with you? So you've given them examples about problems that could be happening with their business, right? Not all about me. I'm not telling them how qualified I am and how great I am and all that I've accomplished. I'm giving them scenarios by which they could understand, right? They could say that's something that relates to me. and now we're off to a conversation. Or they can say, none of those relate to me. We're doing just fine. And I have options there, but I could also just, hey, thanks for the time. Would you want me to follow up in 6 months or 9 months or 12 months? Or not at all? Or do you want to make an introduction to someone? Do you know anyone who would have those issues? That's a comfortable call. I was straightforward about my intent. I gave them options. I didn't waste a lot of their time. And in the end, I am what I said I was. I'm a salesperson. So don't hide the fact that you're a salesperson. Get out of the cliche world. Get yourself a good 30-second commercial where you can succinctly tell somebody what you do and that they could understand. Anybody should be able to understand it. Someone who's not in your industry should be able to understand it. So there's my 3 quick tips for not being completely annoying and cliche in the sales world.